of diplomatic history that is causes of World War One. World War One, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that lasted from 1914 to 1918. The major powers of the time including Germany, Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire. On the one side, the Allied power including Great Britain, France and Russia. On the other side, the causes of the war were complex and multifaceted, but some of the main factors are nationalism. Nationalism refers to the strong sense of loyalty and devotion to one's own country. In the years leading up to the World War One, nationalism was a major force in the Europe. Many countries were trying to assert their dominance and prove their superiority over the nation. This led to the tensions between the countries and contributed to the outbreak of the war. Militarism. Militarism refers to the belief that a country should maintain a strong military and be prepared to use it to protect its interests. In the years leading up to the World War One, there was a significant arms race between the major power of the Europe, which each trying to outdo the other in the terms of the military power. These arms race resulted in increase in the military spending and development of the new, more deadly weapons such as machine guns, tanks, and chemical weapons. The arms race contributed to the belief that war was inevitable. The World War One was alliances. Alliances refers to the formation of agreement between the countries from mutual protection and support. In the years leading up to the World War One, there were two main alliances: the Triple Entente consisting of Great Britain, France, and Russia, and the Triple Alliance consisting of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. These alliances were formed to provide security and protection for each country, but they also contributed the escalation of tension and the outbreak of the war. Cause of the World War One is imperialism. Imperialism refers to the competition between the countries for colonies and territories around the world. In the late 19th and 20th century, many European powers were expanding their empires and seeking to establish themselves as a dominant world power. This competition for resources and territory led to the tensions and conflict between the countries and contributed to the outbreak of the World War One. Cause of the World War One was assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in the Sarajevo in 1940 was the immediate trigger of the outbreak of the World War One. The assassination was carried out by the member of Serbia nationalist group, and the Austria-Hungary used the incident as pretext to declare the war on the Serbia. This set off a chain reaction of the event that led to the involvement of the major power of the Europe in the conflict. The World War One is economic rivalries. Economic rivalries were also a significant factor in the outbreak of the World War One. The major powers were competing for the resources, market, and investment opportunities around the world. Economic competition led to the trade dispute, traffic barriers, and the other economic tensions, which contributed to the overall atmosphere of hostility and distrust between the countries. Of the World War One is the Balkans. The Balkans, a region in the southeastern Europe, were also a major factor in the outbreak of the World War. The region was a home to the complex ethnic and religious groups, many of which had competing nationalist aspirations. The annexation of Bosnia and Herzegovina was by the Austria-Hungary in 1908 was a significant event in the region, and it sparked a series of crises that ultimately led to the outbreak of the war. The next cause of the World War One is the failed diplomacy. It is the most important cause. Diplomatic efforts to prevent the outbreak of the war were also a factor in the conflict. Diplomatic efforts failed to resolve the tension between the major powers, and in some cases they can contribute to the escalation of the conflict. For example, the ultimatum issued by the Austria-Hungary to Serbia in July 1914 was internationally designed to be unacceptable, and it was seen a deliberate provocation by many. In summary, the causes of the World War One were complex and interrelated: nationalism, militarism, alliance, imperialism, economic rivalries, the Balkans, and the failed diplomacy all contributed to the outbreak of the war. The war had a profound impact on the world, and it marked the beginning of a new era in the global history. Hope so you like it.